after months of trash talk, weigh-ins, and bold predictions, the moment has finally arrived. Ian Garry and Carlos Prates are officially locked in. And what's about to unfold isn't just another main event. It's personal, it's dangerous, and it could shake the entire welterweight division to its core. On one side, you've got Ian Machado Garry riding high on confidence after dismantling top contenders. On the other, Carlos Prates, a man with ice in his veins and a promise to smash anyone who doubts him. The UFC world is buzzing. Legends are picking sides, tensions are sky high, and the only thing that's certain? Somebody's getting hurt tomorrow night. But how did it all build up to this brutal collision? Let's dive into the chaos. The weigh-ins are usually quick. Step on the scale, flex a bit for the cameras, and walk off. But today was different. Ian Machado Garry hit the scale first, weighing in at a solid 171 pounds. Calm, locked in, barely cracking a smile. For a man known for his swagger and bold words, Garry's silence spoke even louder. It wasn't cockiness. It was pure, laser-focused energy. Like a man who knows exactly what's coming and isn't here to entertain anyone but himself. Then came Carlos Prates, 170 pounds even. No hesitation, no nerves, no games. His eyes burned straight through Garry across the room. It wasn't some scripted stare down. It was raw, real. The kind of quiet intensity you only see when two men know they're about to try and destroy each other for real, not just for a paycheck. There were no insults, no push-shoves for the cameras, just a heavy, choking tension that blanketed the whole building. The kind of feeling where your heart races even though you're standing still. And in that silence, you could almost hear it, the storm building between them. Two careers, two futures, about to collide. The fans saw two fighters make weight, but the real ones knew. The war had already started. In a sport where anything can happen with one bad move, even UFC champions know how hard it is to call a fight. But Jamahal Hill didn't hesitate when asked who's walking out with their hand raised. He's backing Ian Machado Garry all the way. Hill sees something different in Garry, something he believes most fighters never develop: patience under fire. According to Hill, Garry's last performance wasn't just impressive, it was a turning point. He fought a dangerous opponent, stayed calm in the chaos, and came out looking like a man ready for the very top of the division. Hill pointed out that Garry's ability to control the pace could be the difference maker against someone like Carlos Prates, who's known for unleashing hell the moment he smells blood. In Hill's eyes, Garry won't just survive the early storm. He'll frustrate Prates, bait him into mistakes, and then counter with something nasty. A sniper in a world full of brawlers. But Hill also dropped a warning. Ian's been cornered before. He's been cracked, dropped, even pushed to the edge. And while Garry's toughness is undeniable, coming back from knockdowns like a zombie refusing to stay dead, it's still a dangerous game. Against a power puncher like Prates, one mistake could cost everything. Hill's pick is clear, but even he knows, in fights like this, nothing is guaranteed except violence. While the spotlight burns hot on Ian Garry and Carlos Prates, another monster fight is quietly taking shape behind the scenes. Dricus Du Plessis' coach, Visser, dropped a bombshell this week. The reigning middleweight champ will defend his belt against Khamzat Chimaev, and it's happening sooner than most fans expected. Speaking on Submission Radio, Visser shut down the swirling rumors that Dricus was injured or ducking the fight. In his words, the gossip was pure bulls. The reality? They're just waiting for the UFC to send over the final contract. No injury excuses, no stalling tactics, just two absolute savages about to collide for middleweight supremacy. However, Visser clarified it won't happen during International Fight Week, where many fans had hoped to see the war unfold. The UFC apparently has other plans for that card, keeping this dream matchup tucked away for a later date, possibly August or September. And there's even talk of staging it in the UAE, right in the heart of Khamzat's biggest fan base. If that happens, Dricus and his team couldn't care less. They're ready to slam him and slap him in front of his own people, with zero hesitation. While nothing is officially signed yet, Visser's confidence made it clear. This fight is inevitable. Dricus versus Khamzat isn't just another title defense. It's the kind of fight that can tear the roof off the division. And when these two finally meet inside the cage, don't expect it to go the distance. Anthony Smith refuses to be another first-round victim. As much as the hype around young, unbeaten prospects dominates headlines, there are still battle-tested veterans who refuse to roll over. And Anthony Smith is one of them. This weekend at UFC Kansas City, Smith steps into the octagon against Jamahal Hill, a 26-year-old knockout machine riding an insane 11-fight win streak, with every single victory coming by first-round stoppage. The odds, the stats, even the buzz around town, Ixoi. Everything says Smith should be worried, but if you ask him, he's not buying any of it. Smith knows exactly what kind of monster he's facing. Fast, strong, surgical. But that's just what the highlight reels show. What the fans and media don't know, Smith says, is how untested Lee really is once you drag him into the deep waters. When you've got 18 first-round finishes, Smith said, it's hard to know what a guy really has when the adrenaline fades and the gas tank gets tested. Anthony isn't just fighting for himself this time. He's fighting to expose the blueprint for the rest of the division. To show everyone that the Golden Boy isn't invincible once the clock ticks past 5 minutes. And Smith isn't speaking from hope. He's speaking from hard-earned experience. Throughout his career, he's weathered storms, clawed his way back from brutal starts, and forced younger, flashier fighters to crumble under pressure they weren't built to handle. He's not guaranteeing a knockout. He's not promising a masterclass. But he's betting everything on one fact. He will survive the first-round onslaught. He will drag Jamahal Hill into the second, third, and maybe even the championship rounds. And when the dust settles, Smith believes he'll be the one still standing, while the UFC's latest hype train gets exposed as just another prospect who wasn't ready for the real trenches. In a twist nobody saw coming, two of the UFC's biggest names and former rivals might soon be sharing the same gym. Israel Adesanya recently revealed on the Pound for Pound podcast that training with Jon Jones is officially on his bucket list. Not as enemies, not as opponents, but as two warriors coming together to sharpen their weapons. Izzy didn't hold back when praising Jones, calling him a long guy with insane frame control, and admitting he's watched Jones closely since UFC 92. For a fighter as proud and fiercely independent as Adesanya, that's no small compliment. It shows a level of respect deeper than all the trash talk that once dominated headlines between the two. And Jon? He responded quickly and positively. Hopping on Instagram, Jones said it would be amazing to train with Izzy. No ego, no shade, just mutual acknowledgement between two fighters who've both walked through the fire at the highest levels of MMA. It's a rare moment of evolution in a sport fueled by rivalries. These are two men who once seemed destined for a brutal collision, with fans foaming at the mouth for years over a potential super fight. But time changes everything. Adesanya is focused on moving forward, growing sharper after setbacks, while Jones, now reigning at heavyweight, is carving out his own new legacy. If they do link up, it won't just be training footage for the fans. It'll be a true meeting of minds. Two of the most creative strikers and tacticians in the history of the sport, finally putting competition aside to build each other up. And if that happens, don't be surprised if both of them come out looking even more dangerous than before.